The Wilder School opened as an elementary school in 1912. It stayed open until 1993 when the Hartford School Board consolidated schools and opened Dothanbrook. Wilder was closed for 4 years before it reopened as the Regional Alternative Program. The program was operated successfully in the unchanged Wilder School for the past 23 years. However, after time, the aging and deteriorating building began to affect enrollment. After a careful survey of the needs and available space by the Wilder Building Study Committee, the Hartford Area Regional Collaborative approved a major renovation of the Wilder School to run the RAP program and a program for students with autism spectrum disorders in the Wilder School. There will be no overlap of the programs, yet they will run in the same building due to innovative design plans. In March 2019, the community voted to approve this project and work began shortly thereafter. Thank you to the voters in Hartford for their support.
This was my second grade classroom. The chalkboards were along the front. I used to sit up along the back here because I didn't like to be noticed. The first girl I ever kissed, she sat next to me in the back row. Her name was Jane. I'll never forget that, but anyway, that was a long time ago. But the windows back then were clear to the ceiling. I went to school here, first through fourth grade. We heated with coal, and there was no steam radiators in the building then. There was just a couple of vents, one near the floor and one near the ceiling, and you could tell how much heat was coming out into the room by the crepe paper that the teacher had attached to the grillwork on the vents.
I came here to this school in 1948 in the first grade, which happened to be in the space we're in currently. Classes stopped at noon. Either you stayed here and ate your lunch. If you lived in town, you got to go home, and classes resumed at 1 o'clock. When I was here, they heated with coal. We'd go out for recess and the dump truck would just left and all the coal that didn't go down the chute was out here. I have a lot of fond memories of this facility. When I heard that they were wanting to decide whether they were going to sell it, make condos, whatever, I wanted to participate.
Starting in 1996, I was the elementary teacher for 11 years, and then I took over as director. And the project is really important to me because we've been around, the program's been around since 1996, and we moved into this building, which is beautiful. It's a beautiful historic building. The classrooms are big and airy, but too big for what we need them for. We knew that we needed something more. The vote last year was not the first time we approached the issue, and so to have it pass last year, I was just blown away, and I'm so excited because we've been partnering with the architects and Breadloaf, NBF and Breadloaf, to be able to design spaces that are specifically designed to meet the needs of the students and the activities that are going to take place there.
We have two fantastic programs for students with needs. One was here. The second program is in leased property that doesn't even begin to meet the needs of the students or the staff. So by the time the committee did the assessment and came up with the fact that we could take this facility, redo it, we could actually accommodate both programs together in one space, and yet they're still separated, meant a lot to me. And the fact that we're creating a facility that has specialized lighting, it has specialized heating needs, all of which is environmental issues that these students need that a normal student potentially wouldn't need.
The committee did a really 15-month study to even see if both programs and the way we designed it, if we could even fit, and the answer was yes. And we already have shared staff, so that travels between the programs. Now they'll all be in one spot, and there's plenty of space to have some shared spaces as well as to have some autonomous spaces that are just program oriented. So it's excellent.
NBF's done a wonderful job of bringing back some of the historical features that were deleted from the project over the years. They've done a really nice job of bringing the school back to its glory.
This is going to be a high-tech building when it's done, and we're hoping to cut the fuel bill by more than half with heat pumps and the insulation and so on and so forth.
Over the course of 100 years, the school had gone through some transitions. It had been used pretty heavily. Some things had changed, the windows had changed, some of the doors had changed, so the look of the building changed. Well, those renovations had not aged well. So we were able to remove a lot of the things that were installed, some of these old windows that are not very attractive and not very efficient. And we're going to replace them with windows that more closely resemble what was there originally. The goal is to make the school look like it did or close to what it did when it was built in 1912.
The old girl, she's over 100 years old, so there have been a lot of alterations to it. The top half of the window is this orange plywood, whatever. My memories of being in this classroom was the fact that it was glass from here to the ceiling. And I smiled last week because did a walkthrough, and the first classroom actually have the new windows. And when you say, let there be light, it is there. I can't imagine how the students will feel.
The stairwells are original from the building. The stairs railings are currently not up to code, but when I was in first, second, third grade, they're high enough for me to hang on to. The treads are oak. They're almost worn completely through from so much foot traffic over them over the years. It was just the way they built things back then. They didn't build everything brand new. They scavenged whatever lumber they could find and used it.
You have about 15 or 16 students. How do you think they're going to react to the new facility?
Oh, I think they're going to love it. I think it's going to take an adjustment because my students are very routine oriented. But once they get used to being in a new space that's so big and welcoming, I think they're going to love it. I think they're going to adjust quickly, and they're going to have a really good time getting settled in a new environment that's so supportive of their learning.
How do you think the students are going to react to the new renovated space?
They're so excited. Anytime I come here, I have to show them the pictures. I hook up my phone to the smart board. They're all excited. The last time we came, like all the studs had been up, and they're playing Guess That Space now. You know, like, oh, that's our old classroom. I can tell by the color of the walls, or that's where this used to be. And it's really exciting for them. Yeah, and all of us.
It's been such a wonderful team effort, and a huge thank you to all that were involved for supporting the project and for helping to see that the need for this renovation to support both the Hartford Autism Regional Program and the Wilder program as well.
And we're taking an old school building and making it a new school building, trying to bridge the past and the future. We're respecting the past of the old school building, but then we're setting it up for the next 100 years.